Eventually he managed to get it through customs, but you can imagine the hassle we had. To say nothing of finding a taxi at Heathrow. I told him, Eamon, next time you want to put a stunt like that, read the excess baggage allowance first. Oh, I know I'm going to ask you. Have you seen Danny yet? He's at the hospital, isn't he?
No, I haven't. Have you?
I'm fairly sure he's at the hospital.
Adrian said so, but then he said Madge Richards would post topless for the Sunday sport.
I will be going to see him. I just wanted to find out how he was first. You know, just to get some idea.
The receptionist at the hospital said he must be a bit better, otherwise they'd not have sent him home.
That's the reason. Anyway, it's not the same barging into someone's home. You know where you are in the hospital, with visiting hours and that, and he's right over the other side of Reading.
I started off thinking I'd give him a few days to settle in, and then I wondered if he thought I'd forgotten him. I was going to send a card, but what is there? Get well soon's a bit inappropriate.
Linda said she met Grace at the hairdresser's the other day, and she said...
Linda?
No, Grace. Grace said that she'd taken a cake round and he couldn't get to the door for 10 minutes. She wondered if it had affected his hearing.
Probably the drug. Well, you know how sleepy Dan used to get after a couple of pints.
Maybe you're right.
Do you realise we're talking about him? As if he wasn't really here anymore. Oh, look, George, I really must go. Harry and the kids are due back any minute.
Well, if it's as bad as that, maybe he's not up to visitors.
Needn't be for long.
Look, why don't you give me time to make a few calls? There's one way how to find out things are. I'll talk to Pat.
Good idea. Pat's bound to know.
I'll call you up as soon as I've got something.
Thanks, George.
Hello, I'm Danny. I'm sick. It's a virus you've probably heard about by now. It's called, now listen carefully, because I don't want to say this more times than I have to tonight, AIDS. Here I am, getting back into bed, after painfully emptying my bowels. Takes me a time to get around on my bad days. This is a bad day. Tonight, I'm expecting a visitor. The visitor who has to be prepared for. But first, you're going to meet Rick. Not the way I met him, thankfully. The last time I came out of hospital, he was there, on the doorstep, with the milk I'd forgotten to cancel and the junk mail. I used to write deceased on the junk mail and post it again. Not anymore. This last one contained news of an unmissable retirement investment opportunity. It's too late. I saw the writing on the wall 3 years ago and put all my money into pharmaceuticals. Hello, Daniel, said Rick. He always called me Daniel. I'm Rick. I'm your buddy. I was confused for a moment. I thought if I produced the right beer can ring pulls, I might win a holiday for two in Spain. Since I was ordered to take, offered medical retirement, I've met all those salesmen, opinion posters and promoters. You remember the 2% of Catholics who don't believe in God? That was me. Well, it passes the time. Rick explained he was from the AIDS support group. A strange name, actually, because they don't support AIDS at all. In fact, they're quite opposed to it. When we figured out that he wasn't actually selling anything, it appeared he had been assigned to me. I still don't know by whom. And then I agreed to a lot of things whilst I was in hospital. Perhaps he was one of them. Still, it looks as though I'm stuck with him. Till death us do part. In a moment, he's going to come in and say, "Are you feeling comfortable?" Well, he can hardly say, "Are you feeling better?" can he?
Daniel! Daniel! Daniel.
Here I am, as usual.
I was worried. Sleeping?
Trying to.
How are you feeling? Comfortable?
Fairly.
Look, if you want another pillow, then
I don't need anything. Except, sit down. How was work?
Hell. September, everyone brings in their holiday snaps. Awful, most of them. This bloke comes in with 6 rolls. He said I did wrong. Turns out he left the lens cap on the whole time. You're well out of it.
And apart from that?
Rushed off my feet. You know how it is. Too much to do and too little time. I came here straight from work.
Really?
Well, my game actually, squash.
Oh, Perrier, please.
What? Oh, sure, won't be a minute.
Oh,
There's no need to run, really, there isn't. I'm not dying of thirst. Health. He glows with it, doesn't he? I can feel the heat and smell the sweat. I bet he eats 3 shredded wheat, probably with Carling Black Label poured all over him. Oh, sorry about that. I watch too much TV. I know all the adverts, and those dreadful ad-lib programs for bored housewives, and those awful Australian soaps. Not that I've got anything against Australia, but how can anyone take a country with a coastline that shape seriously? So, it's just their revenge. For hundreds of years we sent them criminals, and now they send us Clive James, Rupert Murdoch, and sons and neighbours. I've got this remote control device for changing the channels, so I don't have to get out of bed. If only life was like that. Who was that French bloke who wrote all his novels in bed? Of course, he was just a hypochondriac. That's one disease I haven't got.
Oh, thank you. I need it for my pills.
Pills? Ampicillin's my favourite. Cold turquoise capsules like the tears of a statue. But these are just the seasoning for ragout à la cidre. That's French for that word. You know the recipe. Take 1 patient, freshly dressed. Remove as much blood samples, biopsies, and tissue samples as you can. Hang in suspense until petrified. Put into radiotherapy at regulo 4, basting liberally with interferon until the lesions have gone the color of blueberries. Stuff with AZT and cotrimoxazole and perhaps a dash of amphotericin. Leave for a week. Allowing the artery scars to heal. Once the patient's hopes have started to rise, swiftly turn out into his own home.
What have you been doing since I was last over?
Since Sunday?
Yeah.
Dara's been chock-a-block. Auditing with jockey shorts, shampooing the goldfish, writing the Lord's Prayer on the back of a postage stamp. What else is there to do?
Your exercises?
Oh, it doesn't make any difference.
That's the wrong attitude, Daniel. I rang your health visitor and she said that you should do them at least 3 times a day. You haven't, have you? Come on, let's do them now. Close your eyes.
Eyes closed.
Right. Now look at your body lying there on the bed. Look at it closely. Your skin is transparent, like you've got X-ray eyes or something. Now let the organs get bigger and bigger. Look at the arteries and the veins. Look at the lungs and the blood being pumped around the body. You can see that?
I can see it.
Right. Now go right into the bloodstream. Like Dennis Quaid in Inner Space. There are dark spots forming into a threatening cloud.
Like Brooksport.
No, more like queer bashes on a Saturday night, lurking around corners with baseball bats. They're the viruses.
I can see them. The bastards.
That's good. Now bring on the good cells, the white blood cells. Call them up from out of the bone marrow. They're multiplying. There are more and more of them all over the place.
Brooksport.
Forget the frog spot. The good cells, the white ones, are chasing after the viruses. They're surrounding them, picking them off one by one. The black ones are.
Like the National Front.
No, like Pac-Man. All the bad viruses are being eaten up. There are just a few here and there now. Now the good cells are after them too. Now all the bad viruses have gone. The blood is pure and clean, and the organs are plump and fresh. Heart, liver, kidneys,
Bacon.
but the white cells are still on the alert, like a medical neighbourhood watch.
What do they do now? Settle down and have kids?
The cells, or did you say sexuals?
What a good idea. Maybe if we did that, I wouldn't be in this mess.
No sex.
No sex, please. We're unicellular organisms, like amoebas. Just think. No waiting for telephone calls, no lies about working late at the office, and no nasty diseases. I suppose Adam must be created with AIDS and herpes and that clap. Think about it.
You think too much.
Leave me that. If you had your way, I'd only have clean, health-promoting thoughts.
You're not very good at imagination, Thurrock.
It's not
That's
the
why
way
my imagination works. I can't visualise my antibodies like Pac-Man. I'm from the pinball generation. When I think of my virus, I see him there, down the end of a microscope, wearing Levi's, a bomber jacket, and smoking a roller. Hi there, bye old man. How you doing? Oh, sorry, Danny. I didn't see you behind that iceberg. Oh well, things are looking fairly positive. Got to meet some very friendly people. In fact, that's how I got to meet them. Pop stars, cabinet ministers, royalty, you name it, I've met them. I've rubbed shoulders with the best of them. Well, not exactly shoulders. I'm not one to drop names. You'll find out for yourself sooner or later. But I've even made it to Eastern Europe. Dispelled a few communist stereotypes there, I can tell you. And I've got great hopes for Glasnost. Of course, there's still prejudice. The gays won't come near me anymore. And I've never even seen a lesbian. And after all I've done for the London Rubber Company, they're still out to get me. But I'll get by. Still, I'm glad they used up all them chimps on that hepatitis vaccine. There have been one or two vicious rumours, though, that I'm just a variant of syphilis. Still, that's the price of fame. Do you see my picture on the cover of New Scientist? I've even been on Wogan. Offers from Hollywood, I tell you, my son. Still, gotta go. I'm late for a one-night stand in Preston. Cheerio, do pass me on to your friends. That's my virus. The life and soul of the party. Never conspicuous, never obtrusive, just making sure that everyone goes with a bang.
If you're my buddy, what does that make me? A buddy-e?
What was that?
How do you talk about me? To other people?
I don't. It's strictly confidential. You can trust me.
You meet other buddies?
Oh yeah, we have buddy meetings, sure, for support.
Oh, I see, a sort of support group. And who supports them?
It's just an opportunity to share our experiences and problems. Believe me, buddying can be very stressful. Oh, I didn't mean you.
You've got others.
No, they only allow us one each.
Monogamous buddy. Well, that's good. But what's the opposite of a buddy? Or what would you say? Daniel, he's my...
Oh, I see what you mean then. PWA.
PWA?
Person with AIDS.
I get it.
Well, you don't like being called victims.
True. Children of haemophiliacs are innocent victims. And the rest of us, I assume, are guilty victims.
And you're not exactly patients or clients, so it has to be PWAs.
Doesn't exactly trip off the tongue.
You're gonna like us, PWAs.
Still, it's non-sexist and it reminds you that we're people.
Of course you are.
Could a PWA be a buddy? A BWA?
No. Well, I mean, it's possible. Why would you want it to be?
No. Not now. Not the way you see me. Lesions and all. But sometimes I want you to be. Do you understand?
Of course I do. I've been trained.
To understand?
I know what it's like.
I'm not so sure, Rick. Let's try a little imagination therapy here. You close your eyes.
Eyes closed.
Try to relax. Think beautiful thoughts. Bambi. Black Forest Gatto. Beach Boys.
That's supposed to be relaxing.
Hold the Beach Boys.
That's what I was doing.
Now I know how you feel. Look, Rick, this is serious. Imagine you're lying down on the bed. The sheets are clammy with your sweat even though you've changed them this morning. It's not a good mattress, and you have a cramp at the base of your spine. You've spent most of your time for the past month on this bed. Your feet hurt. You think you may be losing your sight, only maybe that's just watching too much TV. You have pale skin with red and blue lesions on your buttocks, ankles, neck and arms. You hope they won't appear anywhere more conspicuous. It takes a long time to bath, soothing your itching skin, but even longer to count the stigmata in the mirror afterwards and check that they haven't got any bigger. You weigh 7 stone, and you don't enjoy eating. You haven't had sex with anyone else for almost a year. Your hair needs a wash, but it's too much effort. Your toenails need cutting, but it's too much effort, and you don't want to have to ask anyone else. You want a crack, but it's a long way to the bathroom, and when you get there, it'll feel like... And you'll have to clear up, and have another bath afterwards. There's a healthy, hearty, handsome guy sitting next to you who says that he understands all this.
Rick is big on physical contact. I believe they have workshops in it. Non-directive affection. They even have a motto.
Hugs, not bugs.
Cute, isn't it? I get 4 each time he visits. They're all very nice, but they do last so long. I wonder if I offered him 5, do you reckon he'd make them any shorter?
Daniel, I brought you something.
Flowers?
Well, I never watered the last lot, so I assumed you didn't like them.
Not indoors, I don't. First time I came out of hospital, this place looked like a chapel of rest or harvest festival. Flowers and grapes. They're nice outdoors though. Did I tell you I went out last week?
That's good.
Just to get a paper.
Well, look, if you want a paper.
I don't want a paper. Didn't want one then. It's just one of my good days. Passed the time of day with Mr. Patel and came back. The Budleigh was beautiful.
I could take you out.
I'd like to go out with you when you have time.
I remember one day Rick came round and I'd gone out. I used to quite often then, not so often now. I sat in the square under the chestnut trees. The first conkers were out with their green spines like vegetarian sea mites. I must have dozed off. It took me ages to get back. The stairs here are killing. When I got here, he was waiting for me at the top of the stairs. He waited till I got right up and then helped me in. I think he prefers me ill. There's not much for him to do when I'm feeling good.
I brought you this.
Oh my God, it's something to eat! What is it?
Fresh vegetarian ravioli. I know the place that makes it. No preservatives and no additives. When I made the tomato sauce myself. When my grandmother gave me an old family recipe.
From last month's family circle.
It looks lovely. Could you put it in the fridge? I've eaten today already. I'll have it for lunch tomorrow.
Okay. You won't forget.
I won't. Thank you.
I do wish he wouldn't. I eat well. And according to the diet the nutritionist gave me, small meals at regular intervals. Eggs, cheese, liver, fruit and vegetables. I know that sauce would make me sick, but I can't tell him that. And I can't throw it away without him seeing it in the rubbish. Perhaps if I was to puree it and pour it down the sink. I cooked for the 2 of us once. Lasagna now I come to think of it. Perhaps he thinks I've got this thing about pasta. He was trying to match his eating to mine, taking little tiny steps, like a father holding a child's hand. Now he pretends to have eaten before he's come, and I pretend to believe him.
I tried to call you last night.
Oh, I was out.
With Colin? That is the guy living with you, isn't it?
No, not exactly. We're only dating. Or rather were. No, I was at my evening class. Car maintenance. Not that I can afford one, but it'd be useful once I can. Sorry about that. I've been meaning to get an answering machine for ages.
Have mine.
Oh, I
Oh, don't be silly. I don't need it. Anyway, I'd like to be able to leave messages for you.
Now, what was it you wanted?
To put you off coming over tonight.
Oh, well, if you're rather away.
No, Rick, I don't want you to go. I know I don't seem grateful,
Actually, I'm not grateful.
but I do need you. It's just that someone's coming round tonight.
Someone important.
Someone very important. And when Pat gets here, I don't want there to be any awkwardness.
Actually, when I was tidying up, I noticed, I couldn't help seeing, you had letters from someone called Pat. Who was he? A friend? A lover?
My wife.
You married?
You mean you never noticed the ring?
I never thought to look, I sort of assumed. But when's she coming?
8 o'clock.
Well, that's now. I better get you ready. I'll just go and clear the sofa for you.
I'll see her in here. There's no point in pretending. Not to Pat.
Anything you need?
Just a drink.
What can you? I mean, with the medication.
I can, but I don't anymore. Or is that something else you didn't notice?
Oh, wait.
It's not a good idea to cry, will it? Just have bottles around when you cry as much as I do.
Oh, wait, in the kitchen.
Come back in, say, 20 minutes and I'll introduce you. There's something we have to discuss first.
Now, what did you have to go and tell him that for? The guy is quite happy assuming you're gay, that your spleen is just a camp sense of humour. Daniel, I guess you just weren't cut out to be a closet heterosexual.
Pat, how did you get in?
Took off my own door clip. Remember, I lived here for 3 years.
Why did you do it?
Sit down.
How are you?
Once a week I feel a little better. But it's always a little bit than the last time.
What happened to her?
They giving you anything?
Oh, hard time. And something called CD4 antigen. I've given up asking what it does. If they offer me something, I just take an armful of it.
What did she ever do to you?
You haven't lost your sense of humour.
It's that keeps me alive, not the CD4. How about you?
They're hopeful, but then that's their job.
You killed her!
So am I. Keep on the AZ team, you'll be fine, I know it. It's like I had the test when I did. So they got you so early. They'll find a cure.
A cure? Like the cure for cancer. Seems to me they only find more things that cause it. Saccharin, passive smoking, formica. Not a cure. First, there's the tests. There's money in them. By 1990, they reckon to have a 10-second test, just in time for the blood police. You know, you blow in the bag, and if the crystals turn pink, you spend the rest of your life on the Isle of Wight. They've started working on the latest drugs to keep us alive just that little bit longer, so they can try out their latest magic bullet. If you're lucky, they might see a profit in a vaccine. After that, a clever scientist will actually develop a cure. The very next day, an even cleverer one will prove it causes cancer.
How's Amos?
Taking it well. He's always known, of course.
She never even had a name.
And he doesn't mind.
What did you do to our daughter?
It makes a difference. Not so much sex, just the way we plan our lives together. Much more consciously than you and I ever planned things.
Maybe that's where we went wrong.
You're thinking of adopting?
That's great. Another girl.
No, a boy. I know everyone wants boys, but we have special reasons.
She would have been 3 months old.
Please, stop thinking about
I
her.
can't. If only I could have held her, looked into her eyes, seen a part of myself with a future.
What sort of a future? I love you, and I'd have loved her, but the doctors couldn't tell me. They didn't know if I was positive when she was conceived. Would you have wanted her to suffer like you have, like I still might, never having known anything else, never knowing why?
An innocent victim. Did she get tested? Afterwards, I mean.
I told them not to. It's best not to know some things.
Haven't seen you since then. The operation? Was it difficult?
I was unconscious. But it hurt. It still hurts.
Why did you come back? After what we agreed at the hospital?
Everyone's asking about it.
Why the hell are they asking you? For God's sake, tell them I'll wear rubber gloves when I answer the phone.
It's not that. They just don't know what you want, what you need.
Who does?
Look, I'd better go. Your friends must be impatient.
Oh, Rick. He's my buddy. I didn't warn you about that. He comes with the virus, a sort of side effect.
What's he like?
Not your type. Not mine. Seem to think he might be, though. You could say he's diverting. Could do with more of that. Do you want to meet him? Rick!
No, I'm just going.
I meant what I said. About giving the divorce. If you're going to adopt a kid, I mean. And I am going to meet Amos. Bring him round for dinner. On my birthday. I'm going to have a small celebration.
That's months away.
I have every intention of being there. Even if it kills me. You'll come.
Yes, we'll be there.
Maybe you'll have the kid by then.
Paperwork takes ages.
Longer than 9 months!
I will call you.
Dad! I should have given her the ravioli. Where are you going?
Fine.
Go on, I don't need you.
But you've only just got here.
You obviously don't need me anymore.
Did I ever?
I never realised you had family support.
I had a wife. I almost had a daughter. And now I've got no one.
So you need someone to deliver messages and push the Hoover around the flat. You need a maid, not a buddy.
Have you looked the word buddy up in a dictionary lately? It means pal. Brother. Anyway, whose idea was the housework? Food? Mine or yours?
Mine.
Who was so concerned about his PWA he didn't even twig that he was straight?
Me.
Who sent the unsigned cards? Rick, I saw the envelopes. They all came from the same shop.
I did.
And where exactly are you going?
Fine.
To Colin, who doesn't actually live with you, doesn't see you, probably doesn't even find you anymore. To your gay ghetto, if there is one in Reading. Why did you buddy me, Rick? You don't have to be ashamed of getting something out of helping people.
I certainly didn't buddy you for this! Yes, you are. What is it? Your feet. Come on, onto the bed. Onto the bed. Up. Now, move to the end. You said that sometimes, right?
Look, this isn't one of your weird sexual...
Trust me.
That better? I can talk more easily to your feet. They don't answer back. Colin's real enough, or rather was. Collins were all I ever wanted. To find a husband and live happily ever after. But when you're young and desirable, well, there's not much of a hurry. And when holding on to one guy gets like hard work, well, there's plenty more fish. Once you've tried them, well, find a bigger pond. I was all set to go to London. Most weekends I did. Then this disease happened. And I started thinking, these were my dead. My family. I decided that there might be more to life. There's a thin pink line running through dizzy queens and painted rent boys and self-respecting men and women. Like the man here in Reading who lost his job in 1965 standing outside the House of Commons.
For me. That's bravery. Thanks to them, people like me can live their lives with a bit of dignity and pride. Now we're suffering in a different way, and I have to be part of that. Guess I thought you were too. You always said we didn't own the barrister. It's kind of hard when you find out it's true.
I didn't know any of that. But then again, you never really knew me either.
I didn't want to know you and lose you.
In the end, you lose everyone. Maybe it's wrong to try and own them in the first place.
You know what I couldn't stand? That look in your eyes. Tenderness. The pity for a dying man.
Pass me my shoes, Rick. I want to go outside.
What answer is there to a look like that except rigor mortis? The only difference between the two of us is that I'll get to where we're both going a bit sooner than you.
Oh, and then we can have supper. Ravioli.
I hate ravioli.
Good, so do I. How's the car maintenance going?
Okay.
Listen, I've got a theoretic Fiesta downstairs. Fancy trying to get it back on the road?
Sure.
Let's go take a look.
Just because I'm dying doesn't mean I'm not living.
You could have this.
Damn it. Do you know what the opposite of a buddy is?
What?
A buddy.
From my unwashed hair to the sores on my feet, every cell screams. The heart quickens, the lungs fill, the eyes open, the blood shouts, onwards, onwards, onwards!
Did I tell you I've seen Pat?
No. Is she still living with A?
Amos, George. Amos. She's lucky not to have been infected.
Has she taken the test then?
She must have. Haven't you?
Anyway, how was she?
Oh, so much better. You know, I even think she's lost a bit of weight around the middle too. Apparently she's not going to divorce him after all. Well, as it stands, she's going to inherit everything.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
What do you mean?
I went to Danny's on Wednesday.
You should have said. I'd have come with you. How does he look?
Subdued is the word I'd use.
Well, he's not got much to be cheerful about.
But you remember how he used to lark about, even in hospital.
I can never remember the tears running down his old man's face.
The face is much better, but he's much quieter. Still, he does have another interest.
Oh, good. He's taken up his painting again.
No?
Occupational therapy?
You could call him that. Eric something or other.
Oh, Rick. Claudine told me all about him. He's from that support group, helps around the house and tries to stop Danny's mother driving down from Anglesey.
All I know is he acts as if he owns the place. Clive said most nights he sleeps over.
Really?
Yeah, you know, I've always wondered about Danny. He never said how he actually caught the virus in the first place.
It's not the sort of thing you can ask.
Well, Rick's definitely one.
You're not suggesting...
It all adds up.
Poor Pam. She never even hinted. Then how could she have? No wonder she left him.
The two of them were looking well settled when I went home.
Who'd have thought it?
It's their problem, not ours.
I'm still going over tomorrow to see for myself.
If you have to.
Are you coming?
No. Me and Danny were never really close friends. I always thought he respected me rather than liked me. Anyway, let's see. I've got a much better idea for tomorrow.
George!